Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Making a Game in Virtual Reality. My name is Ryan, and in this episode, I'm going to be showcasing some of the improvements I've made to my game over the past 2 weeks. Currently, I am in VRChat in my own local world, and my world is currently in community labs right now being tested over here. And I've had a few people join my world and play, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback um, from all the different play testers. I think I've had maybe like 15 to 20 people see this world, and each time I invite people over and we do some testing, I make sure that I make like notes on what they're suggesting, and I incorporate the feedback into the game. So some of the notes um, that I've gotten are up down buttons for different height avatars, um, a mirror where players can kind of see themselves on either side, a light which I currently have disabled because I'm trying to keep my frames locked at 80 for now. There's some performance issues with having different lights and different stuff with like baking textures, but I'll be fixing those later. And we have a restart button. Pressing the restart button doesn't do anything because my city's already in the default start position. So let's get my height like this, and let's showcase what we got. So from this video, I won't really go into detail um, of what I need to add. I'll just go into detail of what I've already added because my to-do list is it's 50 bullet points long, and I get new ideas and new suggestions every day. So what I will say that I added is I've made first of all the buildings kind of smaller. They're about 40% smaller than the previous video. Pick up. Whoa. Okay. Well, my battery's low. Wait. What the heck? Wait, my right controller batteries. Wait, I lost both my controllers. Okay, my batteries are back on my controllers after running downstairs to get new batteries. Okay, so I forgot what I was talking about before my controllers died, but let's just showcase what we got. Pick up a town hall or city, place it on the table, and wait 4 seconds, and it will begin constructing. The construction times and all of the other sort of economic features I kind of have set to the absolute minimum, only because I'm still testing the game. But in an actual game, it will maybe take like a minute to construct like a building. Now, so what we have here is a territory that kind of goes around the city. This territory signals buildings that can be built in it. So if my building that I hold is inside the territory, it'll kind of glow, and if it's outside, it'll kind of just be on standby and then eventually teleport back to spawn. So all buildings, if they're not being built inside the territory, they will eventually default back to spawn. So now that we got our city built, let's get a nice house to put inside of our city, and I'll make it nice and symmetrical, nice and neat. Right now, there's no sort of tutorial or GUI on any of the buildings. When I kind of do some more stuff later, I'll have it so you can kind of have more like descriptive details on like what each building does. But yeah, building a house unlocks a technology building, and the technology building is kind of cool. Let's build that. Get this one going on the side. And the detail on that is quite sharp. Technology buildings unlock towers, which I can kind of put inside my base, and if people were to be attacking me, these towers would be defending. And I can put as many of these towers as I want. So maybe another kind of tower over here. I want to move that on to the side. No, it's building. Okay. Another house. I think I will kind of put this over here. Like that. And it's it's kind of like a city building game at the very beginning, where really the only thing you can build are defensive structures, because to give people time to build up their settlements and to get their defenses up before they start like warfare and stuff. So this building, which is called the Keep, unlocked walls. So I kind of made this building kind of spawn walls because it kind of has the same mesh, while this building spawns towers because it kind of looks like a tower thing. Oh, yeah, here's a wall. I can plop it over here, kind of like that. And I can also plop another tower. And yeah, my city went from just being a single city to a city that has technology buildings, towers, walls, houses. I can connect walls to each other. Let's do that. Maybe this wall connects over here. Let's get another wall over here. And maybe a tower to defend this edge. Connect that. And one last wall to kind of seal the deal. I guess I kind of want my city a little open, so maybe something like that. And connect this black cube that you see. I'll explain that from the next technology building. So yeah, we have I kind of built up a base. We have a nice fortified wall around the perimeter. We have 2 towers on the edges where the walls connect to, and 2 towers on the inside to be a little bit more fortified. We have the ability to continue expanding our castle, or maybe I want to start building on the outside and get some stuff going over here. And I'm not sure if anyone's really noticed yet, but building a house unlocks a technology building, each house that's built. So the first 2 technology buildings are defensive, which are towers and walls, and the second 2 technology buildings are going to be offensive, which are going to be warriors and archers. So this first building is a smith, and building that unlocks a little tiny warrior that I can place inside my city, and after 4 seconds it will become active and I can kind of command them around. So we see that the warrior is moving. It follows my cursor. It's pretty accurate with the AI navigation. I like the smoothness of it, and it feels natural to command and control. And if I want to spawn a lot of warriors, I can just do this. Now I have 5 warriors, and they all kind of follow my command, and and move around and such. So it's kind of a nifty little. It's very nifty. I'm very, very, very impressed by this, even though I kind of made the game. It's so fascinating. Like, my goodness, I actually have warriors and AI and VRChat that follow my command. And multiplayer is going to be very fun because we're going to have 8 people, 8 different colored warrior groups that will be attacking and conquering or alliancing and doing all that stuff with fortresses just like this, on a map probably more interesting than just a table. So yeah, we have warriors, and the last technology building to unlock is obviously the archer. Cool thing about warriors, and just AI in general, is that I did code the game to be realistic with its physics. So if units do go to the edge of the map, they will fall off the map, and they will get recycled, and they'll kind of have to be built over here or over here. Oops. I think colliders on the hands need to get adjusted just a little bit, but yeah, same concept applies for archers. Let's get the archery range this way, and kind of next to the blacksmith, and same as before, I can just spawn archers. Get this over here. Okay, I believe I have hit hitting. There we go. Yeah. Colliders are still kind of wonky. What's happening there is that there are 2 trigger boxes perfectly overlapping each other. So when my hand collides, there's a 50% chance that it won't actually trigger the interact. And I can fix that by just making one of the trigger boxes slightly smaller than the other so that they don't overlap. But yeah, let's see what we got here. We have archers and crossbowmen and knights. Very cool. And throw some catapults into the mix and some ballistas, and we have a full army. The tech tree stops at the archers, but I have much more bigger ideas once the game goes live to continue expanding the kind of units and stuff that are playable. Not too many units. I'd like to keep it around maybe 4 or 5 units possible to build in this game to prevent scope creep and over complicating the gameplay mechanics, but I would really like to see some some catapults and ballistas shooting like the big projectiles at like fortresses. Okay, so that is what we got. We have a fully upgraded base. It is a very nice looking fortified base that I can continuously expand, continuously add more to it. I can spawn another house, but that won't really unlock anything. So yeah, that's pretty much my base. Very compact right now. The territories are supposed to expand as like the base gets built, but right now it's kind of static. These territories are denoted by this blue sphere, and the game will look very cool when you have an orange base, a green base, a red, purple, pink, all these different colors. They're possible to see, and each one will be denoted by a different player. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Finally got units to work on a sort of a larger scale. Got buildings to work. The game feels natural to look at. The buildings are nice, reasonably sized. They're not too big where they kind of take up your screen, but they're not too tiny where they're like, it almost looks like they're gonna like fall out of your hand. This is just the right size. And yeah, that's what I've got. One of the biggest changes that I've made, actually, I guess going to like the back end architecture side, I made some huge changes in terms of how like buildings are built, and how like their meshes and their colliders and stuff like that, how they're assigned. So before I had like, if a player was going to spawn a tower, I would need like 20 towers sitting in the background waiting to be built. If a player was going to spawn a wall, I would need 20 walls, in the sort of background, waiting to be spawned inside the game. That was very not memory efficient and doesn't really scale to 8 players. So what I've done instead is I made all the buildings kind of like templates, where this wall can actually become a tower, and this tower can actually become a city, and the city can actually become a warrior or an archer. All of these game objects over here and over here, they all actually share the same template, the same components. These are all the same game objects. It's just that I've scripted it so if I do assign a game object to become a tower or to become an archer or a warrior, it will literally transform its entire backend architecture to go from a tower to a knight or archer, and that makes sure that I don't actually need 20 buildings of each kind ready to be built. All I need are just 20 or 30 blank template buildings that can then be selected one by one to a wall, tower, archer, or warrior, only when they need to be built, only when they need to be pulled into the game. And that was a very, very important code change. Bringing the initialization time of loading the game from potentially 2 minutes to under 10 or 20 seconds. So that's one of my big core backend changes. Another backend change that I made was the sort of look of the territory themselves. I'm still experimenting with the lighting. I'm experimenting with how I want the borders to look, the thickness, how far the territory expands outwards. But having territory in the game ensures that players don't accidentally expand too far away from their base, and they don't get overwhelmed if they're being attacked from multiple sides. If it's nice and compact, then a player will understand, okay, all I just need to defend is like the core, which is over here, rather than defending here, here, and here, which might be overwhelming, especially for when you're in virtual reality. Another backend architecture change that I made was the technology buildings themselves, the sort of technology tree progression, and the ability to kind of, interact with a technology building and have a sort of schematic of the technology that it builds following my hand as I move it around, and if I move it off the table, it'll fall. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the updates. I have a couple more bugs I need to kind of fix, but for the most part, the game is looking pretty good. I like the look and feel of it. I've gotten some pretty good feedback from the players that I've shown the game to, and I'm very excited to begin incorporating that feedback and growing the game more. So yeah, I wish I could talk more into the back end code and the back end architecture. That is there is some stuff going on that is very quite clever for VRChat on how I kind of design certain things. But I guess I'll save that for another day and cap off the video here. Thank you guys for watching these videos, and I will be uploading another one potentially 2 weeks from now, and hope you guys have a good rest of February.